fundamental truth of existence. The universe is absurd and chaotic. Truth is not universal. It's defined by what you choose to believe. So why not build your own pillars of life? Why not use this absurdity as an opportunity to exercise your freedom and live on your own terms? That's the essence of existentialism, a philosophy embodied by characters like Lane, the EVA pilots, the Major, and the Wanderers of Ergo Proxy. It's a way of thinking unbound by fate, expectation, or limits, which traces back to the defiant Greek philosopher we know as Socrates. The unexamined life is not worth living. While not an existentialist himself, the roots of this philosophy begin when Socrates decided to go against the grain. He was a man of questioning, one who, like the ideas of existentialism, put emphasis on the self, on questioning the world around you, and living by one's inner truth. Existentialism starts with the individual, unlike other beliefs. It's not one that the world can cultivate for you, as it points that existence precedes essence. You were not born with a predetermined purpose or nature. That is something one can only define through actions, choices, and experience. Only then will you find what you long for, a meaning to your life. This is a challenge, much like what Socrates' existence was to the authority within Athens, to the systems that called for control of the individual belief and purpose. And even to this day, when born to this world, you're told who your God is, what defines good and evil, what makes success and man and woman. But none of these were definitive to begin with. Just across this planet, in the same time as you live now, people lead drastically different lives with diverse beliefs, unique morals, yet equally find happiness as well as sorrow. We eventually mature after
Godfrey is unlike any character FromSoft has ever created. In a world steeped in suffering, he always rises above his circumstances and commands respect wherever he goes. He may even hold a special place in the heart of Miyazaki, who in an interview before Elden Ring's big release hinted at Godfrey's significance. These dramatic and heroic characters weren't really present in our previous titles, so this is something that was really appealing to me, and Godfrey is sort of an embodiment of that. Words that resonate all the more after the revelations brought by the DLC. Godfrey's story is woven through every major faction in the lands between. His influence shapes the land's history itself, and even echoes the player's own journey. Godfrey's story is at the heart of Elden Ring. Compared to other protagonists, Godfrey's story is surprisingly well preserved, if you know where to look. But don't expect a short video. His lore runs deep and connects to so much. And to find the real Godfrey, we must start with the young man and his humble beginnings.
Upon my name as Godfrey, the first Elden Lord.
After the long march of the Tarnished came to an end, Godfrey divested himself of kingship, becoming a simple warrior once more. This warrior, of course, was Hoarah, chieftain of the brave warriors of the Badlands, as described in the Champion set. This was Godfrey's past life, before he was chosen by Marika to become Legendary Consort, and the lore of the Badlands explains how this simple warrior came to become the founder. So, before this story, what do you know about the Badlands? As their name suggests, the people of the Badlands built their society in combat, where strength determined status. Degrading delicacies such as exalted flesh were reserved exclusively for those heroes. Badland chieftains were recognized by their distinctive great axes, described as huge logs of iron and too heavy to be wielded by those of lineage to order acute range. These chieftains were revered by their elders, who honored them with the sacred names. Champion set known as, following the example of their chieftain Hoarah, the brave warriors of the Badlands shun excess of the army. Similarly, the Axe Talisman states, the lord who led the Long March bore an axe, and his loyal warriors honored him by wielding axes of their own, making them very effective at dealing decisive blows.
You need to stop that
The axe
vehicle in
depicted
its
on this
tracks.
talisman appears to be the Highland Axe, which is found in Stormvale Castle beneath the large portrait of Godfrey. The axe features the same curved detailing along the blade, pointed star by the handle, and a spiral design on the handle itself. And like the talisman suggests, the weapon takes after a great axe.
I'll do my
Both weapons
best
share
to carry on
strengths in the
with
land. Near identical blades,
Armed and dangerous! Maximum pulse! Elven Lord.
They've made it
Now
halfway!
I fight
Stop
just
them!
Horalu.
The Sorcerer Supreme leaves. I'm opening a portal.
Okay, hold your horse. Tarnished unlearned like you. Let the scars of
Pentagram of Parala.
Parallels make it clear that the highlight very least share. This much was clear even before the first story. An armor set called the Brave Set was originally meant to reference Richard Upland. However, this set was later
Mortal
released in
pain
the
is no
DLC as
match
the
for the
Highland
Sorcerer
Warrior,
Supreme.
armor which belonged to the same warriors who wielded the Highland, as shown by the leather crown, whose design matches the helmet and its talisman. They share eye shapes, distinction, and have distinct ribs running from the top of the head down to the ground, making a long, rectangular nose guard. The full set also bears a striking resemblance to Godfrey's attire, featuring a white saber on the headband, hot blue with some red highlights, fur lining, and similarly styled arm and leg wraps. The Highland Warrior set highlights what may be the most significant cultural practice of their people. Highland Warriors are known to be the hunter of bears. For them, there is no act more glorious than the subjugation of a savage beast. Two variants of this set can be found in the Shadow, one with the leather crown and Highland attire, and another with the leather headband and gloried attire. The latter expands on the tradition. Red patterned fabrics were allowed only to those who hunted bears, the greatest and most glorious of the time. Champion Cauldron, reserved for the Badlands Raiders, features a red. Appropriately, both Highland sets are located in forests that are infested by red bears, Bravo and Vidalia. The tradition of bear, they rise to what is jokingly called the bear community. The ritual that channels the power of the great red bear to unleash a mighty roar. The technique itself will be called
By the Eye of Agamotto!
The current score is
one discover a
0,
dog unique to
2,
oneself.
3.
For the Highland Warriors, the hunt was not
Time to
merely a
switch
test of
things up,
strength, but a
including
path
which
to embody
side you're
nature's
on.
raw, untamed power. This belief is
You'll need a
also why the term
top-notch team
brave
to
is
win
so
this
revered in
one.
their culture.
Open your
Courage is
eyes.
required not only to
Reality
face
is
the
but
savage
an
wild,
illusion.
but to embrace it, to let it shape one's very being. Even the famed Redmane warriors pale in comparison to this ideal, as seen in the Savage Lion's Claw Ash of War, skill of the particularly brave, even among the Redmanes. In more recent history, there was a Redmane warrior who walked the same path as the ancient Highlanders, embodying their values in full. His original name has been lost, and is known now only as Red Bear, for after killing the Great Red Bear in a blood-soaked bout, he became fascinated by the untainted glory of his naked strength, and said,
Charles
"I wish to be
dreamed
a
of a
bear,
safe haven
no
for
more
all
and no
mutants.
less."
At
His fascination
last,
focused on
I
untamed
have made
strength
it a reality.
specifically,
30
which
seconds
aligns
before
with
you
the
attack.
Highlander
Get
ideals
ready.
of transformation, not adapting nature to fit human needs, but
The worst
instead
part
striving
about
to
white
become one
costumes,
with its
the
raw,
blood
unmodified
stains.
power.
Am I right?
This
Be
concept
wary.
is central to
No
Bear Communion,
timeline
which eschews
exists where
alteration of the
Magneto
wild, as described by
yields.
the Red Bear's Claw, or the Pelt of Rava, which enhances Bear Communion. An idea described well in the pelt's description. This untreated hide, one at the end of a bloody
battle
bout,
starts in
is just
5,
the thing to make a
4,
wild bear of
3,
a warrior.
2, 1.
The Roar of Rugalia
All you
is
need
the
to
only
do is capture the
incantation of
mission
Bear
area.
Communion. It
Got it?
symbolizes the ultimate goal of the Highlanders, the ability to channel the raw power of the beast. Their culture embodies this idea, where a mastery of raw serves as a method of safety. The Highland axe enhances raw, and war cry is its default skill. Battle cry then rallies its bear, and transforms strong attacks into fast strikes. In contrast, the great axe wielded by the chieftain comes with barbarity, described as the bestial war. This ability not only empowers its user, but also transforms strong attacks into savage combat, which signifies the chieftain's closer connection to the warriors who use the Highlander. This is the culture of the bad guys, where the Highlander, martial band is a bravery, and sword staters by hunting beasts, and trained strength. Their hierarchy was built on bloodshed, with champions rising from their borders. The pinnacle of this savage tradition, so for embodied the grand ideals in itself as the combat. It was only a matter of time until his gaze had become the greatest of all. If there was no act more glorious than such a great feat, then surely the Lord of Beasts offered the most glory of all.
cold.
And so, Hoarelu set his sights on none other than Sirach. Godfrey was a ferocious warrior. When he vowed to become a lord, he put the East Regent Sirach upon his back and suppressed the ceaseless lust for battle that raged within him. This description reveals that Sirach was already the Beast Regent before this physical bondage.
Armed and dangerous! Maximum pulse!
The timeline makes even more sense. You were safe was Hoarelu, the savage chieftain of the Highlands, and first saw down the Lord of Beast. It's a fully grounded what it meant for both figures going forward. It's crucial to their future, the true nature of their fair communion is repeatedly said to be the joker of the practice. Indeed, the Roar of Regalia incantation is closer in nature to the divine invocation of the Hornsent than it is to the communion. But what distinguishes communion from invocation? What makes one more respected than the other? The expectancy of the human kind while rewarding better already. Some assistance, please.
Healing power. Against a full strength skull.
It's spider time!
Healing power.
Only 60 seconds left.
Landbound.
Destiny awaits.
Placido Sax has shown your
Healing power. Alright, that feels better. Cosmic might returns.
I like the cold.
Those who partake in Dragon Communion or the Dragon Song do so to save their bounds and happiness. By consuming the heart of grace, they experience the euphoria of the Dragon's essence, transforming into something of their own. However, numerous warnings around that tactic.
We've got a spider problem. Quantum
Final 10 seconds.
maximum pulse!
Us against the world. Doctor Strange will do so many bad stuff. We'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
The Dragon Communion is ruinous.
The transformation is inevitable. Those who have performed the Dragon
Armed and
dangerous! Once they fully
Final
succumb to their
score.
fate, they are
0,
left no more
3.
than worms that crawl the earth, shadows of their former selves. Over time, the power they once wielded consumes them,
Well,
a
you
fate
can't
best
expect to win
exemplified
'em all.
by Baal. Even after being consumed, the throbbing heart of Baal continues to resist its suffocation, never weakening. One day, the fire within will consume the very body and soul of its imprisoned devourer. One day. It's no wonder that Dragon Communion is viewed with derision if it ultimately robs you of your humanity, even though it was encouraged by the ancient dragons themselves. Bear Communion, though often mocked in the same breath, differs in a crucial aspect already. It requires no consumption. Divine Invocation, on the other hand, was held in the highest regard within Hornsent society. Their reverence for the practice shaped their hierarchy, promoting those proficient in it. This technique, as described by various Hornsent artifacts, is capable of extraordinary feats. It can heighten dexterity or strength to superhuman levels, amplify the intensity of storms, heighten the power of divine bird feathers, or even bestow wings and feathers upon the invoker. Quite the range of abilities. Fortunately, just as Red Bear served as a lens to understand the Highlanders, so too does the Hornsent lore offer a relevant case study. The Divine Bird Warrior, Ornis. Divine Bird Warriors were the very first of all horned warriors, establishing the template that the Hornsent would follow. According to his ashes, Ornis succeeded in taming the Divine Bird and made its wings his own as he soared through the sky. When he finally fell to earth, he lived on as a guardian deity of the temple quarter. Much like Dragon Communion, Ornis's power did not
Which
originate
hero
from
do you think you
himself,
wanna be
but was
today?
derived through subduing the beast that wielded such strength, in this case the Divine Bird. But most striking is the wording that Ornis made its wings his own. while Dragon Communion merely
Be
channels the
wary.
power
No
of the Fell Drake.
timeline exists
Ornus's
where
case
Magneto
suggests a
yields.
deeper connection,
Now,
one where the
who
beast
am I
itself
gonna
is
banish
somehow
from this
channeled.
match?
Here, Bear Communion offers valuable insight into this distinction. The Highlander tradition states, there is no act more glorious than the subjugation of a savage beast. Notably, subjugation does not necessarily mean killing. It means bringing something under control or domination, making it subordinate through conquest. This suggests that the bears and beasts of Highland lore were not simply slain, but conquered and brought into submission to serve the warrior who bested them. The Beastclaw further develops this concept, allowing its user to perform bestial slashing attacks that are distinctly unnatural for humankind. Users of the weapon wield it as though they have been possessed by a savage beast, as though it is not merely a power they are wielding, but a primal, bestial nature being channeled through them. Indeed, the Beastclaw description confirms its connection to divine invocation, describing it as an imitation of the esoteric techniques of the Horned Warrior.
Pick your hero.
This connection becomes
or
clearest in
villain.
the
I'm not
Sculpted
judging.
Keepers, the most gifted Horned Warriors in the art of
Divine the
divine
magic in this
invocation.
world.
These keepers
But it does
exemplify the
help.
process by which divine invocation imbues individuals with the beastly essence. Their glowing eyes, storm-commanding roars, and inhuman movement and intensity suggest they are not merely borrowing power, but channeling the spirit of a beast. Indeed, the Enraged Divine Beast talisman describes not the warriors, but the
wary.
divine beast
No
themselves.
timeline
A charm
exists where
depicting the crazed,
Magneto
cavorting dance
yields.
of the divine beast conducted at the Tower Festival. Divine beasts are messengers of the heavens, and their rage
will
mirrors
do
the
what it
tumult
takes
of the
to protect
skies.
mine.
They are messengers
Be
because they
wary.
are still active
No
and in the
timeline
act of
exists
divine
where
invocation.
Magneto
The line between
yields.
conqueror and
30
conduit
seconds before you
blurs
attack.
as the warriors
Get ready.
become vessels for the primal forces they have subdued. This is how Bear
Jeff,
Communion
I got a
operates
plan,
as well.
but it's gonna
A wild
take
power is
expert
not
timing
simply
and
fought,
perfect
but
precision.
subjugated and then channeled.
Oh,
This
I'm just
dynamic
messing
explains
with you.
Red Bear's
All you
sentiment.
gotta do is
I wish to
swallow
be a
everybody
bear,
whole.
no more
Got it?
and no less, reflecting the desire to embody the unaltered
wary.
essence of the
Dito?
beast. It also clarifies why the
Battle
pieces
starts in
associated
5,
with Bear Communion
4,
emphasize a lack
3,
of modification
2,
or refinement.
1.
Moreover, it sheds
All
light
you
on
need to
why
do is
calling the
capture the
practice
mission
Bear
area.
Communion
Got it?
carries a note of derisive humour. While Dragon Communion revolves around the slaying of drakes, as per the Dragon Lord's wishes, Invocation and Bear Communion embody respect. Presently, further illustrates that their culture was not spiritual, but instead forged direct bonds with
Henry, you poor sweet child.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Now that this understanding, we can return to Laura Lynch's fateful encounter with Sirach. Despite all the new information about Laura's history, we still don't know much about his first meeting with Sirach. It's likely for a reason, which we'll discuss later, but after digging into his cultural background and looking at their roles in the years that follow, we can use this context to piece together a likely story of what happened between the Lord of Beasts and the Chieftain of Badlands, though it is still definitively to say. After all, we can't just skip an event as big as this. In keeping with his culture, Hoaralou sought the ultimate glory, to challenge Sirach, the Lord of Beasts, in combat. His aim was not to kill, but to subdue, earning honour and power for his crime. Just as Highland warriors gained prestige by hunting bears and earning the right to wear fabric, Hoaralou pursued his own mark, the crimson symbol of his supremacy.
Armed and dangerous!
Your team's capture progress has passed the halfway
The battle must have been nothing short of sublime. A clash of unparalleled skills, power, or brutality. It's likely that Sirach's current condition reflects the aftermath of this monumental war, with injuries so grievous they
Again!
Yeah, in the end, the regal beast was best.
Please, Namor, one can you guys blank or something? Oh, we don't have one anymore.
Okay, hold your horses.
I'm ulting. Follow me, bitches.
Instead, he honored forged a bond that would define their shared legacy for the rest of their days, for more reasons.
Healing power.
Hoaralou's alliance with the Lord of Beasts had repercussions that extended far beyond the two of them, whether or not that was the warriors. The relationships between leaders invariably were culturally and political grounds, shaping factions and altering the course of history. Exploring all the history
I can ult here.
This video is far longer than
Revive.
not to mention the speculative nature.
Stall, keep stalling. Keep stalling, keep stalling. 2 healers behind you, Mag.
Save that for future videos. However, it's both brand and software. Its presence is designed unstable and can be found in many of the land's most significant locations. The most common example is by Shroud, where an imposing eastern wing set the stage of the building which clearly preceded its Roman architecture. This very design is confirmed to depict Sorosh itself by the Golden Beast's crest shield. The same relief can also be found in Stormvale Castle, lying beneath the Elden Throne itself, symbolically suggesting how Sorosh's significance predated the age of the Earth Tree. The Colosseum is also their Sorosh's weapon, alongside additional wire iconography integrated into the very architecture of ancient ruins. Given the proximity and thematic consistency of the battles, it's hardly a stretch to assume that the wire motifs also on Sorosh, or at the very least, related to itself. Stone Lionhead adorned torch stands found in the prison town of
Your Neymar, focus the healers. Don't spam the tank.
The Lion Guardians are likely related to Sorosh too, but given they are often paired with the castles in Sorosh, their placement will be a later event. Sorosh can therefore be confidently tied to the ancient land there, the dragons, the beastmen, the ancient Gelmir society, the orcs, the Hornsens, and importantly, the banished lands, who are curiously associated with nearly all of these locations. In fact, there is another thread that links many of these places. The recurring depiction of what appears to be a world tree, predating the Erdtree's current design in Leyndell. This tree depiction is also found in various locales that relate to the Banished Knights, such as Redmane Castle or on Divine Bridges. But even after all this, it's only natural to question how Sorosh, the Lord of Beasts, could hold such far-reaching influence across the realm.
no matter the
And the
cost.
answer lies in understanding what the role of beasts are in the world of Elden Ring. Have you noticed that there is an underlying pattern to how beasts are portrayed? Because it's not their savagery.
30 seconds before you
Beasts are
attack.
suggested
Get
to have been
ready.
granted intelligence, and with it, a unique role in the hierarchy of the lands. Having gained intelligence, the beasts must have felt how their wildness slipped away as civilization took hold. Took hold is particularly interesting phrasing here. Their intelligence does not grant them full autonomy. Instead, they are described as agents operating within specific bounds. As the Beast Champion Helm
battle
describes,
starts in 5,
the beasts, their eyes and
4,
ears covered,
3,
represent an oath.
2,
See nothing,
1.
hear nothing, doubt
All you
nothing,
need to do is
and
capture
carry
the
on
mission
along
area.
the path
Got
set in
it?
stone. This path positions beasts firmly in a role of servitude. The Beast Champion armor expands on this idea. Beasts are drawn to champions and to lords. This pattern is exemplified by figures like Blythe and Malakath, both of whom are bound in service like cowards. The statues of these men and families then further underscore this role, depicting them not as independent beings, but as servants to the larger Dragon statues. Beasts granted intelligence have very distinct roles, mediators, envoys, or heralds. Agents acting on behalf of powers far greater than
Armed and dangerous! Again!
The Elden Beast is the vassal beast of the Greater World, a living incarnation of the contracted order. The Twinbird is said to be the control of the god. These ruins are guarded by chosen beasts who wield weapons that add in lightning, the weapon of the ancient dragons. Some beasts are sacred, specifically designated to represent divine or otherworldly forces. The wolf is the beast of the Fire World Covenant, a symbol of the moon's pride that none can forget. The role of beasts is distinct from that of humanity. It's clear the beastmen possess knowledge beyond human ability. Even the envoys, whose nature remains ambiguous, align more closely with beasts than humanity. The Oracle Envoy Ashes describe them as a monstrous band of musicians who employ sacred arts, while their horns are instruments that cannot be sounded by a mere human. Indeed, the Envoy crown out a cryptic note. No one knows what the cloth hides, but some claim to have heard a faint whimpering from inside. Marika herself relied on the two fingers, described as Enya as envoys to the
Together to
and
victory!
Meta, who once received signs from the Greater Will from the microcosm. Not to mention the unique role beasts carry out as shadows of the natural servitude explains how the Arthur's Bear community and its divine invocation emerged in the first place. The inherent tendency towards service explains why these powerful creatures can be subdued and channeled, rather than simply fighting to the death like truly wild beasts. The relationship between Hermes and the divine bird, for example, illustrates this well. He was able to tame the beast and make its wings his own, because this sport, the divine bird was fulfilling a role of servitude, granting its power not to a predator, but to a worthy master. And this is also how Ornus lost his power. Perhaps he no longer deserved the divine bird's loyalty, and since the relationship is an ongoing dynamic, the bestowed power can be removed just as it was granted. Given this broad role of these things, it's no surprise that their influence extends across so many independent societies. So, whether or not Horalu was looking for such social standing, Soroshi's position as the Lord of Beasts ended up launching him into power and prestige, while also underscoring his unparalleled strength. This is real firepower! Armed and dangerous! This is real firepower! If you look closely, there are some echoes that you can see today of the reverence they garnered from their union. For instance, the Hornsent may have modelled their warrior armour after Horalu himself. The ochre fabric is draped over a chest piece, made to resemble the unclothed form of a hero from old times. Bird warriors are specifically described as wearing golden armour, so this bare-chested design aligns most closely with Horalu. The beastmen of Faramazula extended their remarkable smithing expertise, described as being beyond human care, part of Godfrey's iconic act. This can be seen through the intricate detailing on the weapon, which directly parallels the craftsmanship of the beastmen's cleaver. Interestingly, the same detailing is present on the Stormhall axe, wielded in the present day by Neferu. And the Neferu's unique relationship with the Stormhall axe, earning its trust where others do not, further demonstrates the enduring respect that Hawks holds for their weapons, as well as between Hawks and Faramazula to the present day. Crucially, with the banished lands, the influence inspired the Hawks, Faramazula, and beyond, as shown by not just their placement in the history, but also in their units, which pictures for Angval and Orl's spears, it's possible these soldiers could even be Draconian, not to mention their similarities with the Hornsent, from spirit summoning to their skillful command of the elements, storm, ice.
I'm opening a portal.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Whatever the history, their prominence at the fortified manor underscores not just their respect for Sirach, but suggests they may even have served him and thus Horalu. After forming his alliance with Sirach, Horalu embraced the within Sirach's castle, the fortified manor, of which in later years was enveloped by modern land.
No healers, no healers. Win it.
This type of leadership is an equal, built loyalty and respect, strengthening his reputation not just as a conqueror, but as a unifying force. He chose to act according to his principles, unaffected by his rise in influence. It was a quality he would carry with him for the rest of his life.
Open your eyes.
The most powerful warrior
I'm a good guy who
stationed in a
occasionally takes
strategic
stuff that doesn't
stronghold
belong
and
to me.
commanding legions of skilled soldiers and formidable allies. Horalu was a figure of unparalleled might and influence. With all this firmly established, it's no surprise that Marika sought him as her consort during her ascent to godhood.
Cap.
Who wouldn't want him? This
How many more
context
times
also
do we have
sheds
to save
light
the
on
world?
Muriel's confusion
Until
regarding
it doesn't
Radagon's
need
later
saving
appointment as the
anymore.
Second Elden Lord.
Radagon left
I don't
Renala
think I
to
could handle
return
the
to the
pressure of
Erdtree
dark force.
capital, taking the title of Second Elden Lord. The mystery endures
The
to
battle
this day,
starts in 5,
while a mere
4,
champion will
3,
be chosen for the
2,
seat of
1.
Elden Lord.
All you
While
need to do
Radagon
is
was a
capture the
capable
mission area.
champion and a
Got
leader
it?
of the Leonian factions, his
From what
influence
I
and
hear about
accomplishments
this
were
Doom
dwarfed by the
character,
sheer
I don't
power
think I'm
and
gonna
reach
like him
of
very
Horalu
much.
when he rose to lordship. In time, Marika received guidance from the Two Fingers, and rose in power alongside the burgeoning primordial form of the Erdtree, the Crucible of Life. There were many who venerated the primordial Crucible, but Marika's vision went beyond the current form. However, to achieve true godhood, she required a consort, a partner who strengthened the
Yours to capture now.
She Hoarah, or rather, potential. She needed Godfrey.
That fucking hurt!
Of the beginning.
Yo, Rocket needs some healing here.
The seduction. And
You're ready for it!
This cinematic line is one of the most intriguing of all.
Armed and dangerous!
However, Marika's treatment of Godfrey offers a compelling interpretation without too much conjecture. The whole thing that was as a name.
Rockets, launch it again! I'll patch you up.
Clearly bear personal resentment from the Grand Dame herself. The accusations suggest betrayal, not mere opposition to a ruthless leader. Furthermore, the use of strumpet evokes imagery of seduction and abandonment.
You're ready for
It suggests that seduction was something capacity. There are only two known partners in Marika's history, Godfrey and Radigan. Even ignoring Radigan's true relationship to Marika, he still bears no apparent ties to the Hornset. Whereas, we know that Hoarah once stood as an emblem of power and inspiration to their people. When Hoarah subjugated Sirach, their partnership could more be known as warriors. It legitimized Hoarah through Sirach's ancient royal, widely respected.
Behold the god of thunder!
Hoarah gained respect and recognition from actions like his descendants. Fittingly, this tradition of family feasts continued through the generations of his lineage and culture, and his offspring chose to imitate the act which all their father's actions as. We'll look at that later. But what about Marika? Why would a god resort to seduction and betrayal, unless she wasn't all-powerful yet? Instead, she sought someone that provided what she lacked, and Hoarah was a perfect choice for Marika for three key reasons. First, his unmatched battle power. Marika's ambition from the beginning was to bring the entire realm under her control, having a consort renowned as the greatest god.
This is real firepower!
Hoarah's advantage
This is real
but
firepower!
also political control. By aligning herself, Marika gained crucial diplomatic inroads in a land that otherwise resisted the rest of the Oath and third, to legitimize herself. Marika was not born into status or influence. The shaman people who were at the time their leaders were abused by the Hornset in Jar rituals that aimed to create something better, the saint. Perhaps Marika was a successful part of this process, but even now, it's hardly likely something like that. Held not with sense of respect, rather that she would now serve the Hornset society as someone. Even if the two religious names that were chosen it was the beginning of the faith, and its influence would have been limited in a land filled with so many other religions. Marika's partnership with Hoarah wasn't just a matter of convenience, it was a necessity. By seducing him, she was transformed from a figure of promise into a force the lands between could not ignore. Not unlike how Hoarah rose in prominence from unifying with Sirach.
I'll patch you up.
How exactly Marika seduced
Relay
Hoarah?
deployed. It ain't cheap.
But judging by everything she's done since, she certainly did a damn good job. With all that said, Hoarah's history still posed a barrier to lordship. The ruler's mark defined the ideal qualities of a lord. Chiefly, wise, and possessing a certain deep hand geniality. One at the centre of society often finds these qualities most expedient. Ironically, after a lifetime dedicated to mastering his ferocious strength, Hoarah now faced the challenge of adapting to civilized society. The dynamic between him and Sirach shifted, where once he tamed the Lord of Beasts with wildness, Sirach now served to tame him with civility. After all, Beast Champion Armor's cape was blue, symbolizing the intelligence, thoughtfulness, and understanding of society, as we looked at in our colorful video.
This is real!
Setting aside his savage past, Hoarah took on the name of Godfrey, marking his transformation as he prepared to ascend as Marika's chosen lord, illustrating his complete devotion to her. His new set, that still bears a strong resemblance to the Highlanders, emphasizes blue, which, as the ruler's robe says, serves to prove its wearer's status. Curiously, when he vowed to become a lord, he took the Beast Regent Sirach's compass back to suppress the ceaseless lust for battle that raged within. This act served multiple purposes. It marked a shift in allegiance. Sirach could no longer remain an invoked force for Hoarah, as divine invocation causes the blessing of the Erdtree to become nauseating, reducing the restorative effect of sacred tears. As the figurehead of the Erdtree's might, Godfrey could not continue the practice that weakened the Erdtree's blessing. It would undermine the very foundation of his religion. Yet, loyal to a fault, he refused to sever his bond with Siraj. So, he carried the Beast Regent with him, becoming one, both to symbolize their partnership, as well as to temper the warrior's wild impulses without needing invocation. The Beastmen of Farum
You'll need a
Azula, whose
top-notch team to
craftsmanship
win this
surpassed
one.
human ken, honored this transformation by forging Godfrey a weapon